Nick Hart from Backstreet Boys.
Shout out to Boy Band Break.
It's Chris Kirkpatrick here. Shout out to your podcast, Boy Band Break.
Everybody, this is Howie D, and I'm listening to Boy Band Break.
Hi, Ashley Parker Angel here. Huge shout out to the Boy Band Break podcast.
This is Brad from LFO, and you are listening to Boy Band Break.
Hey, what's up? This is Jacob.
What's up? It's Dan.
What's up? It's Trevor.
And it's Eric Michael, and it's time for Boy Band Break, baby. Let's go!
Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And Lydia, aka Mama Lou, is still off this week. Parenting away to her Japanese exchange students. I think she has 2 girls this week. So so they're having a lot of fun and doing some fun things. So that is what Lydia is doing. So,
that's awesome.
How are you doing?
And I think she was on set as well as an actress, right? Extra?
Yes, she did. She was an extra. Did she say what it was for? She did not say what it was for. But because she's ACTRA now, because she got enough credits last year to join the Union for Actors, she actually got first dibs on the lunchtime food. So so she was sharing some of those things. Yeah. So
be paying your dues already. Good job, Lydia.
There you go, Lydia. Enjoying the life. So,
and I saw that she was the background in one of the Hallmark Christmas movies, The Nutcracker. Yes. And I think I watched that one, but maybe I didn't notice her.
Yeah. If you don't know to look, you're not looking. But I don't know if we mentioned this last time, but she is in the new movie Trap. It's the new M. Night Shyamalan movie with Josh Hartnett. So you can actually see her twice in the movie. So once when they get to the concert, she's like walking behind him and the daughter. And then another time they're showing like the crowd and you can see her up in the stand. So it was hilarious to see it in the movie theater with her because then she was just like, there I am. And then everybody was like
That's
laughing.
So exciting when you can see yourself on camera, right?
Yeah. And for that one, she was actually in the trailer too. So that's kind of cool. So no speaking roles yet, just background stuff, but she's having fun.
Like that's great so far.
She also gave some really fun insight to when she was doing the movie. So they have craft services. So that's like the food. So obviously like the main actors get first dibs and stuff, but they still feed all the background people. But they have like a snack table set up. So basically you can go to the snack table whenever. So literally every time Lydia walked by, she would grab an apple. So then, so another thing when you're like doing these shows, you actually have to bring like a few different outfits with you. So then so like in the movies, they make it look like they have all these wardrobe and they just put you in, which if it's like a period movie or something like that, where you're like the 1800s, of course, they're going to have costumes. But for like regular everyday people, they just have, you just bring your own clothes, like as long as there's no logos or anything on it, but you have to bring a few different outfits so that the wardrobe department can say, yep, that's good, or that's not. Like you don't want anything like too out there. It doesn't match with the vibe, right? So because you go with your outfits, you have like a little luggage. So Lydia had this little rolling suitcase on set with her. So every time she would pass by the snack table, she would grab another apple and just throw it in her rolling luggage. So by the end of the 10 days, she had this like giant bowl of apples at her house. So then she ended up like freaking out. She's like, oh my God, what am I going to do with all these apples? So she made like apple cider, apple tarts, apple this. So she definitely used it, but she was just like, it was just kind of like a fun little klepto thing. So basically M. Night Shyamalan provided Lydia with apples. So
wonderful. Thank you. And a great antidote to tell us, see?
Yes, exactly. So Lydia's living her best life and having a good time. So there you go. So hopefully she'll come back to a future episode when she has no more house guests and she can just relax.
Well, the football season is coming up. So our boy band draft, I'm sure she will be there
will be coming up
to pick our boy banders.
Yes. And I will continue my streak of picking Chris every year and losing every year.
And I will hopefully continue my streak of winning every year. Well, not every year, but winning.
Yes. So we'll see that
every other year. I think
September,
it was
right?
Yes.
Is that usually when we do that one?
Yes.
Oh, we also had, okay, so not only did we have our 300th episode about 4 or 5 episodes back, we also just recently celebrated our 6-year anniversary of podcasting.
Yes.
So
Thanks everyone for
congratulations.
listening
Yes,
or
thank
watching
you
on
all.
YouTube. We appreciate all your support.
We appreciate it. We just keep chugging along and doing the things.
Chugging along and talking about our experiences and going down memory lane and talking about articles that we find interesting.
Exactly.
You know?
Speaking of interesting, if you're wondering why the heck I have a different background and it looks clean, I am not at home. I am at work. I had to come down to work. I was having it's a really rough work day today, but I figured, you know what, I'll bring my microphone, and now I got these fancy headphones for here. You know,
Exciting.
so exciting when you work in a radio station. Oh, I just want to shout, like, this has nothing to do with boy bands or podcasts or anything like that, but I just kind of wanted to shout out to, obviously I'm from Hamilton. I don't know why I'm saying obviously. We've mentioned it in the past, but I used to work for Course Entertainment, Y108.
Oh, yes, I heard about this.
95.3, which went when I started, it was Country 95.3, then it was Vinyl, then it was Fresh, then it was Energy. So I've been here at Bell for about 7 years now, but I did work at Chorus for about 11 years. And CHML was a news talk station and on the AM dial, and they shut down on Wednesday just out of the blue, which is crazy and sucks because.
But doesn't that always happen? Like, I remember Kiss 92 FM back in the day, the day before they were on, and then at like 4 p.m. the next day they were gone. Like, it completely like changed to another station or like completely left.
Right. So that's kind of different. So when it changes to another station, you're like, okay, it's a format change, whatever. They actually went dark. So which means that the engineer went to the transmitter site and turned off the thing. So the station is no longer, which sucks because next month it would have been 97 years that this has been broadcasting.
Wow.
So it's one of Canada's oldest radio stations. And it just really sucks because it was like the news, they had all the, you're up to know and all the local Hamilton news and stuff. So there's a lot of reasons why it probably shut down. We don't actually 100% know for sure. They did have a lot of staff members. AM stations do not make as much money, and their staff had been there for a really long time, but they had a really good staff. And like AM is kind of a little bit on the ways out. Newer cars don't have AM anymore. It's just FM or HD. So, but a lot of stations have taken their AM stations and put them on an HD channel. Could be the property that the transmitter sites were on, because for an AM so for like an FM station, you have like a single transmitter. For an AM station, there's like 10 of them, and they're these giant towers, right? So it's kind of hard to upkeep and the property, maybe the property was worth more. But either way, it really sucks because it was a really great station, lots of great people and announcers keeping local community. And they had the CHML Children's Fund, which was a charity that I worked with since I was working there for like 11 years. And they do the Christmas Tree of Hope and all that stuff. So we're not really sure. It's kind of up in the air if they're going to shut that down too, which kind of sucks. But also,
do they also do the Hamilton Ticats?
Yes, so they broadcast the games, and then they had the fifth quarter with Rick Zamperin. So he is made his own YouTube page, and he's going to continue doing the fifth quarter, so that would be after the football game is over. Then they would go and they would talk to the fans and talk about the show and all that stuff. So he's still going to keep that going on his own, but so.
Well, that's really sad. Hopefully really everyone sucks. Can find work or can be happy after, because that's very sad.
Sure. It is, and it's sad, and it's a small industry, and so many of us have worked with each other and other things. So, so 97 years, crazy.
So wishing everyone the best.
Yes. Also on a random, if you're just curious about Hamilton radio news, we have 2 AM stations. So we have CKOC and CHAM. They were sold, and it's actually transitioning over on Monday. So the new owners, so those did not go off the air. They kept them on the air, and new owners are going to do, I don't know what they're going to do with them, if they're going to change them, but so there's still some hope there. So Anyways, enough about Hamilton radio because most of you are from America and have no idea where the hell I am. So that's I'm just gonna move along.
We want to wish them all the best.
Yeah. So yeah. Yep, for sure. So, anyways, what are we going to talk about today, Sophia? That's related to boy
today
band.
we're going to talk about a People magazine article that we saw on Twitter, talking about where the Backstreet Boys are now. So sometimes these magazines talk about where boy bands are now. Sometimes they do it on TV shows. Sometimes they do it about movie actors.
Right.
And they show like before and after. So like when they were young and then their older selves. And they talk a little bit about what they're doing now. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
So that's what we're going to do. So I think that obviously as pretty big Backstreet Boys fans, we do know a lot about them. So we're going to read what People magazine has and then maybe fill in some gaps, maybe stuff from the past that we think are interesting and the current projects, if it's not mentioned. I do want to say that we did not actually read this article yet. So it's a surprise for all of us. Shout out to Paula who sent us this article. And yeah, all right. Shall I share the screen?
Yes, you shall.
Will I remember how to do it? Yes.
Yes, you will.
Huzzah. And I've now lost you. Okay. There you are. Okay. So I guess I will go back to this page. Okay, so it is the Backstreet Boys. Where are they now? From solo projects to fatherhood, find out what the 5 members of the Backstreet Boys have been up to lately. This is written by...
So if you're a Backstreet Boys fan, you obviously know they're on a break because they finished touring.
They are not broken up.
No, they're just like spending time with family.
Taking a well-deserved time off after what, 4 years of the DNA
4
tour?
years of the DNA tour because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
That is why. So some members are like taking it very seriously. Some we haven't heard from in a while. Some are enjoying their time off.
Some are just
it is all good.
Thing,
I think Howie also went on a cruise with his family.
Enjoying vacation in summertime because they all have kids. So
yes, and in the U.S., school is off from May to August.
Yes,
right.
It depends.
Like
it depends where, but yeah, most of them end in May and start in August. Here in Canada, we end at the end of June and start in September. And then I think depending on what state you're in or whatever it. Yeah, so it's nice that they actually have a summer off to spend time with their fam jam. So.
Yes.
Let's see what the article says.
Those are the fun tidbits that we hopefully can share if you haven't already known about this.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. So this article is written by Stephanie Sangway, and it was published July 24th. Okay. So and then there's a picture of them back in the olden days when Nick had his little
classic photo, maybe?
Classic. For those who are not visually seeing this, Howie is wearing a weird striped shirt. Looks very 90s.
Is it like a USA type of
I have no idea. It looks
shirt?
like
I don't know.
Yes. We got AJ in the back with his glasses on, his double earrings.
With no tattoos back in the day. It's so weird now to see AJ with like no tattoos because you're like so used to him with wearing tattoos.
It's
And when I say wearing, I mean having them on. Like, you know what I mean.
No, for sure.
Okay.
I know what you're saying. We got Kevin here with his very like clean cut, all-American, like high school jock hair and a plaid shirt kind of reaching out to you. Oh, Howie is also reaching out, but in a weird way.
Yeah, his hand is kind of like twisted.
Howie's like, whoa, look at me.
So maybe like Kevin is like reaching out and then Howie's like trying to grab it in a way.
Yes. Brian's just staring at you like he does this cardboard.
He's probably like, why am I here? I'm
gazing
tired.
Into your eyes while wearing his Tommy Hilfiger hoodie.
I'm just kidding.
We got Nick in his peasant boy shirt. I don't know. It's just like a beige shirt. He looks like he could be on a pirate ship.
That's true.
Also
it looks
out as well. So yes, there you go. I don't.
So maybe Howie has to choose between Nick and Kevin's reaching out. Like, which one is he gonna get? I've just made a
knows?
background story right there.
There
This
you
is
go.
probably not what it is,
This has
but it's
nothing
okay.
to do with anything.
It's mostly for the girls, but yes, I just like,
Basically,
oh, maybe it
Brian
could be
looks
like this.
Basically, Brian looks like he has no hands because they're just there. So it's just like a floating
Yes.
head in this thing. Anyways, apparently this picture's from 1995, which is many a years ago.
Is it like
30,
30 something years ago?
Approximately 29 years ago. So
29
yes.
years ago, yes.
Crazy. Look at their baby faces. Anyways, it says, one of the biggest boy bands in history. You cannot talk about the 90s without mentioning the Backstreet Boys.
This is
Composed
true.
Of Nick Carter, AJ McLean, Kevin Richardson, Brian Littrell, and Howie DeRoe. The band released their self-titled debut album in 1996, and it was off to the races. Backstreet Boys housed hits such as Quit Playing Games with My Heart and Get Down, You're the One for Me, and put the heartthrobs on the map. They followed up with Backstreet's Back in 1997 and gave us Everybody, Backstreet's Back, and As Long As You Love Me. Though the band found...
As long as you love me.
Beautiful.
And as we do on everything on the podcast, we talk about our memories. So in 96 is when I became a fan too, and the song that I listened to from the very beginning was Get Down, and I was hooked instantly.
Get Down is the one where they're like dancing in that circle thing, right?
Yes.
Yes, that was a good one. I feel like that was probably the first video I saw of them as well.
Yes, and then like as you became a fan, you learned, oh, We've Got It Going On was the first single that they came out with. And then I was like, oh, I did not know that.
And these are the things you learned. And back then there was no internet or very beginnings of the internet. So
you learned this from the magazines, all the tidbits that you would find.
That's true. All the teen mags.
Yes.
Pop, BB, all those fun J14.
J14, M3.
Yep. So many.
Magazine 3, I guess it was.
I think it stood for Movies, Music, and Magazine. I don't know what the other M is.
Honestly, I don't remember.
It's all good.
Anyway, it was also Teen People.
Yeah. Yes, there was a lot of fun. What was your favorite? Yes. What was
my favorite was J14 because I had a subscription and they would always send me emails.
Okay.
Because back in the day, it was an email subscription as well.
There you go. At the beginning of emails.
Yes.
Okay, so although the band found much success with their first two albums, it wasn't until they released I Want It That Way as part of the 1999 Millennium album that their careers were catapulted through the stratosphere. The album scored...
because everyone talks about the sophomore slump.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no sophomore slump with Millennium.
That's right. The album scored 4 Grammy nods, but no wins. No wins. Damn it, Grammys.
We're still a little bit bitter about this. They could have won one at least.
Damn it, Santana.
You didn't need to win all of them, Santana, and whoever else won against the Backstreet Boys.
Thomas? Was it
Rob Thomas, yes.
For Smooth.
Wasn't Santana and Rob Thomas kind of together?
I think they did the song together. It was Smooth.
Yes. Right? So, like, come on. You could have given one to the Backstreet Boys.
Anyway, so yes, exactly. So I Want It That Way got a Grammy nomination for Song of the Year and became an instant classic. Like most groups of their time, however, the Backstreet Boys faced many ups and downs throughout their careers and even sued their former manager, Lou Pearlman, for fraud. That part of the story will be chronicled in a Netflix documentary entitled Dirty Pop, The Boy Band Scam, which premiered on July 24th. So I do have notes for this. We are going to talk about it. Sophia hasn't had a chance to watch it yet, so I don't know if we're just going to use my notes.
Stay tuned for that.
But that will be coming up. What I do have to say about that documentary is that I went in with very low expectations because I'm like, okay, it is what it is. We all know the Lou stuff. We've seen the other Lance's documentary. We saw the other, like the boy band con and stuff. But there was some new tidbits. And I'm just going to do a spoiler alert here. They had Lou talking from beyond the grave.
Like a voiceover?
No, it was actual like a video. So, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen like that Lou interview where he's sitting at a desk and like talking. So they took that footage and somehow did some AI stuff. And then they took his words from the book that he wrote and just had this like AI Lou saying these words.
That is so creepy.
It is creepy and weird, kind of intriguing, but also like weird.
Okay, that is very weird.
Yeah, so if you haven't had a chance to check that out. But we will recap.
And this is why the actors went on strike, because AI is like taking over entertainment.
And if they can do this and it doesn't cost and they don't have to pay the actors or give them all the free apples, then how are you going to know, right? So
I know, like, come on.
Oh, sure. Okay, so blah, blah, blah. Okay. Over the years, some band members also left in pursuit of solo projects, only one, and other passions. However, the group always managed to get back together and make more music for their fans. Ahead of the documentary premiere, let's see what the Backstreet Boys have been up to since they hit the radio waves back in 1996.
So can I just say, they have missed a little bit of things already. Okay. They should talk about the documentary of the Backstreet Boys, Show 'Em What You're Made Of, because that shares everything up until a certain point.
Yes.
So they could have added something about that in the beginning of this.
Did that come out in 2015? When did that come out?
I believe yes. Because it was close to In a World Like This, right?
I feel like it was close to your 30th birthday.
Yes. That is correct.
So, yeah, I think it was 2015.
Because I'm 39.
Yes. So
9 years ago.
Would bring us to 2015. Yeah. So.
Yep. 2015.
We went to LA for that premiere. It was
fun.
It was fun, even though we didn't actually get to like we saw them, but we didn't actually get pictures or anything like that. But
right. But we do have that wonderful story. One of my favorite stories of Chinzia, because we saw Eric Michael Estrada and we got a picture with him. And we got a picture with Jeff Timmons. So we got pictures everyone except for
we got a picture with a stripper that we didn't know was a stripper.
We didn't know it was a stripper until later.
Assumed he was like a country singer because he was dressed up in like cowboy attire.
He had a cowboy hat on, so we're like, oh, that's Jeff's friend. He's a country star.
But then he made me grab his ass, and he definitely was not wearing underwear, and it was.
And then he was like bending me over, and I'm like, okay, I guess we've reached that part of this stage of this night.
Not knowing who this person, because we're just like, oh, this is just Jeff Timmons' friend. Okay, whatever. And we're like, well, this guy is a bit of a fucking weirdo. And then we're like, oh, he's a stripper. He's from Men of the Strip. Got you. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Not after we found that out, but we're like, okay, I guess we've bonded very quickly over here.
It was very interesting.
It sure was. Right. Yes, I just wanted to mention that. I think Show 'Em What You're Made Of. They could have
that has a lot of, honestly, that does have a lot of good. It that basically was talking about when they were getting back together, right? And
they went to I believe it was like In a World Like This,
and then they did like
so they went to London for 4 weeks to do music, and then it became instead of like talking about only that process of making an album, they decided let's do our whole career basically.
Yes,
I think the director wanted to talk about that, and it would be like a lot better to add more things, so that's why it took a lot longer.
Kind of went to their hometowns and like with their first houses and stuff like that.
Yes, they went to the Lou's house. They went to Lou's they went to.
Yeah. So
they went to their schools, their teachers. There was some crying moments.
Them, yes.
There was a big fight scene in there
Yes, there was definitely
between Nick and Brian. That's where we got the analogy of I want Michael Jordan back, and Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen from the basketball. It was very entertaining.
It was, yes.
All right.
It was a good movie.
All right,
yeah,
let's
Kevin checked it
continue
out.
on.
It's there. So, all right.
Yeah.
Oakley dokley. So, first up, we have AJ McLean. So, for those who are not watching, the first one is actually does have very similar facial hair. This
Yeah,
is
he
more of
does.
like a goatee, kind of piratey, kind of just like the little bit of a stash and the skinny goatee. He's wearing a blue and white chapeau,
Yes.
kind of, and like those like that was in the 90s, those like metal ball necklaces. So he has one of
Yeah.
those. And then in his current picture, you can definitely see like the neck tattoos. He has the full-on mustache beard. He's wearing a green jacket and hat, and he has pearls around his neck. Why is this a thing now? This is like a thing for guys to be wearing pearls. Do you find this at all strange? Or
I do find it a little bit strange, but I feel like
it's
everything
fashion.
old is new again, and guys don't care if it's for girls.
Because, like, when I think of pearls, I think of an old lady, and now young guys are wearing it. So I was like, okay, well, you know what?
Maybe it's like a new trend. I feel like whatever is old. Yeah, like I said, I feel like whatever is old is new again, and they just want to like.
I feel like Harry Styles kind of started that kind of stuff. And then I just feel like now everyone, like I was watching The Bachelorette, and one of the guys was wearing pearl necklace, and then I was just like, hee, pearl necklace. And then you know, never not going to go there. But anyway,
it's all good. It's all good. Whatever floats your boat, you know?
You know? And apparently, yeah. Okay, I'm just not going to go on that tangent there. But anyways, AJ is a fashion guy. He's in fashion.
He's the host of Fashion Hero.
So let's see if they mention that in the article.
Okay.
So let's see what we got. Oh, and he also has like the, what is that called when it's the piercing in your nose? It's like
a nose piercing,
but so he has like the outside one, but he has the one
a nose ring.
Yeah, kind of like yes, and all.
I don't know. Sorry.
All right. The OG Backstreet Boy, AJ McLean, was the first member recruited for the boy band back in the early 90s. Though he had primarily focused on being a musician, he has released a solo album. Look at that. They actually mentioned that. That's impressive.
Ooh, have it all.
Have It All in 2010. By the way, we are also going to talk about that soon-ish once I have listened to the album. But
stay tuned for that. I also found my albums, and
you did. Good, awesome.
I have 4 albums.
4 copies of the same album?
So let me mention this. I think I mentioned it previous. In Japan, they had a lot of like special editions. So I was like, yes, let me get this bonus tracks because I want to have everything. And then they had a photo album where AJ took pictures of things, and they put it in like a little picture book.
Right.
In an album booklet. So I was like, okay, let me get that as well.
Get the bonus one.
And then there was a deluxe edition with a DVD of things and behind the scenes stuff. So I was like, okay, let me get that as well. And then Taiwan had something. So I was like, okay, let me get this.
Did the shipping for all of this like kill you? Was it way more than the album?
No, because back in the day, I feel like it was kind of cheap. I don't know. I feel like it wasn't that.
You just probably had to wait like a month or whatever for it to come. But
I had to wait a couple weeks or a few weeks, or like I think because I went to HMV Japan and I had points.
Oh,
so
nice.
the points helped me a lot.
You had points with HMV Japan, or you just had?
Yes, because I had bought previously Backstreet Boys and This Is Us albums, and I bought Unbreak. Like I said, back in the day, I was like, yes, I need to have these bonus tracks. I need to have this photo album. At one point, This Is Us, they had like a DVD and then like a big booklet with pictures. I'm like, yes, I need to have this.
Look at you with all your fun.
Like I said, as a fan, you're like, yes, I need this.
Our friend Nikki is like that too. She did.
Yes.
Remember she did that video the one time where she put all the singles and everything she had, and it was
yes,
like
she had all the singles.
Yes, like, man, that's a lot. And here I am just buying 4 copies of Nick's album at HMV. Just just because, and there was no special editions. They were all the same album, just so I could have extra copies in different
Right.
rooms and stuff. CDs.
Yes, and then even for Nick Carter, I believe there was also like a special edition or like bonus track one. So I was like, yes, I need this.
I need one of everything. Yes. All right. Okay, so
It's fun. It was like it was. I was like, yes, I'm glad I got this because now, like, look at me now. I'm on a podcast talking about boy band memories. See, it comes in handy.
Anyways, if you guys forgot or did not know that AJ had a solo album, it's called Have It All. It is on YouTube. It is not on Spotify. I tried looking on Spotify.
Yes, that's disappointing because I feel like that those songs are like really good. Like majority of the songs on that album are like really good.
Yes,
and he has a really good voice
AJ
for the songs that he
really
chose. For like, oh my god, a beautiful.
So it showcases his voice well.
It showcases his vocals, yes.
He has a very distinctive, like kind of like a rocker sound. Like
it's very smooth.
Yes, so there you go. Okay, AJ, now 46, has ventured into other entertainment arenas over the years, making brief appearances in Days of Our Lives. Did you watch that?
Yes.
Was he just like a random character?
He was just, I think he just was he came on as himself, I believe.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, my
And I think he was just on for like one scene or two scenes.
That's still cool. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which I believe all of them were on, right?
The Backstreet Boys were on there. And Howie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Olive Juice, which I did not even know existed. But I found it at a dollar store and I was like, what is this? So Brian's wife, Leanne, is actually like the main person. And Brian and AJ are in the movie briefly.
Yes. Brian is the carriage dude.
Carriage driver.
Yeah.
And was AJ like a DJ or something?
I believe AJ was the DJ, yeah.
It's been a while since we've watched the movie.
And then the guy had like, what was the guy had around his neck?
The guy had the stupid funnel around his neck because he had a kidney stone.
And then the whole time he's like wearing it and we're like, what is the meaning of this?
So basically the one side character had a kidney stone and I guess you need to piss it out, but you have to catch it. So you can, I guess, analyze it. I don't know why he needed to find the kidney stone. But he was just wearing this funnel around his neck and constantly like going to pee. And they were like, now this piss funnel is around your neck. It was just, it was a really weird movie. Like Leanne had like.
I think at one point, I think I was like, oh, the mom died. And then you guys were like, how do you know that? And I was like, because The Perfect Fan is playing.
It was like, okay, granted, I only saw this once.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
But it was like, okay, it was not Vampire Bert terrible, which
oh my God, no.
But it was like a rom-com, but you didn't like the main character guy. He was like,
oh my God, he was so bad.
He was like, so she was just like, I think she worked at like pet grooming or something to do with dogs.
Yeah, something with pets.
And then he was there. I don't even know what he was trying to do. Some sort of evil corporate thing or something. But
it's been a while.
Oh my God. We should, you know what? I should find the DVD and we should like watch it because it's.
I don't know if we want to rewatch that, but.
It's fair enough. But yeah, so like they make a very brief appearance in this movie and it's.
I think at one point we were like, the Aaron Carter movie was better.
Pop star?
Yeah, like barely better. It was barely better. Yeah. I think that was what we agreed on. It was barely better than that one.
Because at least in that one, he was like the main character and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, but yeah, so yeah.
And then we watched Long Yard, right? Long Yard?
Long Shot.
Long Shot, sorry.
Which is the Lou Pearlman movie where he put all of his people into it. And
yes. I think we said even that one might have been a little bit better as well, but that's not saying much about it either.
You know, I just wish we had money to make our own movies because if these movies can be made, I'm sure our shitty movies could also be made. But
that's true.
I digress. All right, back to the article. And Static Shock. Do you remember that?
What? Sorry, say that again.
The show or movie was called Static Shock.
I do not recall this.
That I don't know. So kudos, Stephanie, I think her name was, for going deep on here. Among other TV shows and movies. I feel like he started off, didn't he have something like Honey, I'm Home or something like that?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I believe he was on.
He was not in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
No? Okay, I don't remember that.
But he had like some like funky hair and stuff. So he was doing a lot of like acting stuff too when he first started.
Wasn't he like a puppet master? What is that called?
He had a puppeteer.
Tranquilivus?
A puppet,
Yeah.
you know, he had a puppet, and he would
Yes.
sing and go to auditions because he lived with a
Yes.
single mom and his grandparents. So yes, so it says AJ married Rochelle Deanna McLean, Caridis. She
Kyriakis?
Kridis. Anyways, after in 2011, after having met in 2008, the two welcomed their daughters, Elliot, who was born Ava, but changed her name, born in 2012, and Lyric, born in 2017, before announcing their separation in 2023. In January 2024, which I believe was New Year's Day, I think.
That is correct. Yep.
The couple decided to officially end their marriage after 12 years together.
He posted it on Instagram and then she posted it as well.
And revealed they would be divorcing. So,
which is kind of sad because now that booklet we made is not good because it came up in my memories a little while ago.
From when we were on it must have been the 2011 cruise.
2011 cruise, and I was like, okay, well.
So it was like
this is out of date now.
Yeah, so we had made like a scrapbook. We had like skulls on it because they're very into skulls and stuff. And one had a pink bow and whatever. And we had fans from like all over like mail us the sheets, and we like put together a scrapbook to give to them. So that's kind of
yes, and we gave it to AJ at the beach party.
Yes, on the cruise. So on the
cruise, yes.
Okay,
because they did a beach party on one of those days.
Yes. Okay, so sorry, I don't know if people are cleaning the office. So McLean has remained busy outside of being a doting dad. He still enjoys touring and is currently on a legendary night tour with Joey Fatone of NSYNC. The first two shows wrapped up in the first run of shows wrapped up in the spring. The pair wound up adding more dates due to high demand, and will be picking up in August. So
as you know, they canceled the August dates because AJ had an opportunity that he couldn't pass up, and he has finally announced it on his Instagram what it was about.
I can share that tab.
Because on his Instagram stories, he just wrote day one, and then sometimes he changed outfits, and people were like, "What does this mean?" Exactly. And so now he has posted about it.
So we had kind of speculated because there was some stuff, but now it's official. So basically, AJ is it says big news.
Posting.
I'm teaming up with the amazing Nicole Scherzinger, Liam Payne. So Nicole from Pussycat Dolls, Liam from One Direction, Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child, for a brand new competition series on Netflix called Building the Band. They're going on the hunt for the next big pop group, and trust me, it's going to be epic. So basically, so that's what they're doing. There was another thing.
So congratulations to AJ. That seems like a lot of fun. I think he'll be good at hosting because, as you know, he's on Fashion Hero and he hosts that. And he seems to be doing well with the hosting jobs.
Sorry, I'm just going to find, because there was another thing that somebody else had posted. Let me see if I can. Here it is. Okay. It says there. So Nicole, Liam, and Kelly are going to be judges in the new series called Building the Band. It's hosted by AJ McLean. In this Love is Blind style musical competition, singers form groups based solely on vocal chemistry before ever seeing each other.
Interesting.
Kind of cool. I'm like, that is sounds very.
That is some very interesting. It sounds
I
interesting.
do love me some Love Is Blind, so it would definitely be interesting to see that in a musical way. So,
Well, when
doesn't
Nick was
really
a judge for In Real Life, when they made In Real Life, the boy band show, that was entertaining. So this could also be entertaining.
I think so. I think it'll be fun. So I know Simon Cowell is doing one with. So this kind of almost makes it sound like it's not boy bands. It kind of sounds like bands in general.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I know Simon Cowell is doing a boy band only one, so we'll see how that. But apparently hasn't been going so well. So, and then also, sorry, where did you go? I keep losing the screen here. So basically, so that's that. So they do have a show coming up for the Legendary Night on Wednesday, I believe, at the New York State Fair. And then they've also announced that they are going to be in Orlando. So that's AJ and Joey from NSYNC are going to be in Orlando on New Year's Eve at the House of Blues, I believe. So
yes,
tickets are on sale for that. I have no idea if they've sold out yet or not, but yeah, so that should be always fun.
A fun way to ring in the new year.
New Year with a boy bander. So there you go. Okay, so next up we got Nick Carter, one of our faves. So for those not watching, he has his little like curtainy hair. He's wearing a little Backstreet Boys jacket, a gold necklace with a football helmet for some reason.
He loves football.
He really does. Yeah.
That is the reason.
The current, he has kind of more of like the
spiky
kind of spiky hair and a suit and tie with skull and crossbones on it. Okay. So it says, fun fact, Nick Carter could have possibly been in NSYNC. Back in the day, the singer auditioned for and scored spots in the Backstreet Boys and on the Mickey Mouse Club at the same time. So the quote is, I got offered a contract and I turned it down, Carter said of trying out for the Mickey Mouse Club while at 90s Con 2022. I was supposed to be on the same team as Britney Spears and Ryan Gosling, and I got an option to go into the Backstreet Boys audition. AJ was there. Ultimately, he made the choice to sing and became the youngest member of the boy band. So basically his mom said like, hey, what do you want to do? I think it was like $50,000 with Disney or.
Yes, that is the number that I remember. Yes.
Yeah. So the 12-year-old's like, I want to be this boy band. So that's what he ended up doing. It says throughout his career, Carter has also branched out and carved out his own lane, releasing 3 solo albums.
Well, sorry. Going back to that, I think he made a good choice.
I also think he made a good choice. But that's true. He could have ended up in NSYNC afterwards because a lot of them came from the Mickey Mouse Club. Justin.
Yes. And as we learned from the Chris Kirkpatrick interview with AJ, in the beginning, the first album was like with a lot of the Disney people, like the writers. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of a fun little small world.
Yeah.
Throughout his career, so he has released 3 solo albums. So they are Now or Never, All American. Oh, I'm Taking Off, then All American, right?
Yep.
And then he also did kind of a solo duet album, I guess. So with Jordan Knight from New Kids on the Block. And that one is called, I do not
Nick
remember.
and Knight?
Nick and Knight. That was it, because it was the Nick and Knight tour.
I don't remember. You're funny, girl.
My brain does not function. So he definitely, like, Nick has released a bunch of solo albums, enjoys doing that. I think is currently working on another one.
Yes, he's released a few songs.
He's released a few songs.
And then when he mentioned like a few months ago, I'm working on more music for my solo album. And I was like, oh yes, I forgot that you're doing a solo album, because he's just recently releasing the songs, right? So
right, exactly. So I think at one point he was going to release one for crypto people or something, but that never happened. And it just
he just released like that monster song for Halloween.
Yeah. That's true. I forgot about that one. So yeah. Okay. In recent years, the 44-year-old has gone through some tough times with the loss of his brother Aaron in 2022, his sister Bobby Jean in 2023. So yes, and then obviously Leslie had passed away earlier. I want to say 2011.
I believe so.
2013. It was, yeah. So
Something like that.
basically, all of his siblings have passed away. His dad passed away. He doesn't really talk to his mom. So Aaron's twin Angel is still around. So they do hang out. So a lot
I believe they are close. They have their families come out together sometimes. I think the last time they spent together was Easter.
I believe so. Yeah. So
because I think Angel shared it on her IG story that they were together, which is nice.
Yeah, it's nice that they still get together and stuff. And he has, but yeah, that's got to be a lot to go through in a short amount of time. And then it
Definitely,
also,
like you definitely have to be a strong person to go through that.
like I can't imagine losing one sibling and then losing two more. Like that's so.
And like in like few months of each other, right? Like was it like 5 or 6 months of each other? Aaron and then
DJ were maybe like a year apart.
A year? Oh, okay. I thought it was like
around that because I feel like Aaron passed away in October, November, and BJ passed away in like December, January of the following year.
Okay, yeah.
I think that was.
I think you're right. Yes. I don't know. For some reason, it seemed like it was like closer together. But yeah, a year apart seems. Yeah.
Super sad for sure.
Absolutely.
And I think his half sister also passed away, but I don't know if he actually.
Yes, Ginger. Because then people got confused that it was the wife of Bob.
But it wasn't, yeah. So.
But it wasn't, yeah.
There's lots going on there.
Yes.
So Nick is currently being sued by multiple women for sexual assault, has denied the accusation, and is fighting them in court. We're not going to touch. We've kind of made like a thing that we're just not going to touch any of that with a 10-foot pole. We don't want to bring any sort of.
We try to be positive on the podcast. It's our love of boy bands. Obviously, this is happening to Nick, so.
But you know, like at the end of the day, none of us were there. None of us know anything, so that's their own thing to kind of do. But we still support him ourselves, and I'm probably going to get ratted out for that. But obviously, we're a boy band podcast, and we have, you know, we're just whatever. We don't know. We're not. It is what it is. So that is for the courts or whoever to decide. So.
We obviously support him because we feel that he didn't do it, but obviously some people don't agree with that, and that is okay.
And also, you also need to support victims as well of things if things happen, but
not blindly, because I feel like if you blindly support victims and they're lying, you're ruining other people's livelihoods and lives. That is all I'm going to say about it.
We're just gonna not talk about any of that stuff, and we'll.
So that if you wonder why we don't talk about it, is because we try to be positive on the podcast.
Yes, our interactions with him have been very positive over the years. So that is our experience. That doesn't necessarily mean that other people have the same experience. So,
right. And obviously, if you've had a bad experience, we don't push on the project towards you that he is, amazing. You have your own opinion, and that's okay.
And that is okay. So moving along. So anyways, okay. So it says the singer has been married to his wife, Lauren Kit Carter, since 2014. So they were on a show called I Heart Nick Carter, and it kind of chronicled their like wedding and stuff like that.
I think it was like 6 episodes, right?
I think it was, I think so.
Yeah.
A little reality show. The couple shares 3 children, son Odin Rain, 8, and daughters, I always get her name wrong. Saoirse Rain, 4, and Pearl Rain, 3. So, was Pearl's middle name Rain? I didn't think it was.
I thought it was because they want everyone to have the same middle name.
So to
have them bonded for life.
Haven't seen a lot lately but he used to like do his little pancake daddy things where he would make the kids breakfast and do all that fun stuff. Nick is actually touring right now with the.
So I think he stopped doing that because there was a lot of hate after the lawsuit.
Okay, obviously, fair enough.
And he doesn't want his family to be in the crosshairs.
totally makes sense for sure. But what he is doing is he is currently on tour with the Who Am I? Who I Am. I always mess that up. Howie is Who Am I? Nick is Who I Am. World tour. So he's kind of finishing up Europe, and then he's heading back to Canada.
I believe he already finished Europe. I feel like it already happened the last show there.
Okay. So basically, am I going to open this? Okay. So if you want to see Nick, he will be starting his North American second leg of this tour on September 21st in California. And then he kind of just goes.
We went to 2 shows last year in Niagara Falls in November 10th and 11th. And now he'll be coming back to Niagara Falls on the 4th and the 5th of October, right? Or is that 5 and 6?
4th and 5th.
4 and 5, yeah.
And then he's also going to be in Toronto on September 30th.
Yes.
And then hitting up a few more Canadian dates. He just added 2 dates in Las Vegas and 1 in Texas.
Houston, right?
November. Yep. Houston, Texas is November 19th. And at the current moment, it's ending in California on November 23rd.
Yeah. And he also added before that, I think we already mentioned Cleveland.
He did add Cleveland, and that is September 24th. So yeah, so there's been a couple of dates that have been added in. So if there's some space, he might add some more. So you just go to Nick Carter.
And I'm not sure, like in September, they were saying like there might be an announcement or there might be the secret thing that AJ keeps talking about. So maybe in September.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's happening, if he's like going on tour. I don't know.
Who knows? AJ keeps saying he's going to say things, but you cannot trust this man.
This is true. I don't know. Yeah.
Could be anything. Okay, moving along. We have one of the unicorns here, Kevin Richardson.
We have
Kevy Kev. So in his old picture of 1996, he's staring broodingly off into the distance, very serious. He has slicked back hair. He has
it's like he's like piercing into your soul, basically.
Yes. So there he is. He has that piercing eyes, and he's wearing like a V-neck black sweater. And then in his
that's what you wore back in the day,
He's very sleek, suave, if you will. And in the current picture, he has a more of like a button-down shirt and Kansas City Chiefs hat and smiling,
football,
facial hair, and all that jazz. Huge football fan. And what's that team that he follows in Kentucky?
Say that again. Sorry.
What's that team that he likes in Kentucky?
UK football.
Yes, UK football. He's very involved in that as well.
Is it UK Huskies? No.
University of Kentucky, I think.
University of Kentucky, yes. I forget what the name is, but it's UK football.
I have no idea. I know nothing about sports. Anyway, so it says, in 2006, hearts broke across the globe when Kevin Richardson announced he would be leaving the band in pursuit of other projects. However, the big brother of the group couldn't stay away for too long, as he performed and made an appearance with the band several times between 2008 and 2011. He officially announced he was coming back to the group during an episode of On Air with Ryan Seacrest in July 2011 and rejoined them on April 29th, 2012.
Can I say a fun fact?
Yeah.
I think we were there in the first night that he was back, because we went to GMA rehearsal performance.
Right. Yeah.
So that was the first performance as 5 again. And that was our first picture with Kevin with all 5 together. And then the next day they performed on GMA.
Camped out in Central Park.
Yeah, in New York City. So see, that's a fun fact. We were there when he came back.
We were there when he came back.
Officially.
Lots of tears from Kevin and us as well. So it was a very nice moment.
And we were there when he was there for the beach party
on the cruise.
And he was there when Group B got their concert, which we were part of. So we had lots of Kevin before he came back.
Before he came back. Was that
And when he came back.
2011?
Yes.
The 2011 cruise? Yes. So basically we had docked in the Bahamas that day. So
Yes.
Kevin came in and like whatever, and he did the beach party and stuff. And then he came on the boat and did like
Yes, it was prom. Was it prom
concert.
night
It was
or something like that?
Was it that one or was it a different one? It could have been that
No,
one.
it was prom night because he had a nice black suit on.
Yes.
And then I believe Brian and Nick were like Dumb and Dumber suits, or somebody was like wearing like an orange suit. I think Nick.
Probably, yes. I believe AJ.
Yes, and then this is when like he came down the stairs and he shook your hand and he like pierced
Just,
in
like,
your eyes as
stares
well.
into
Like
your
look,
soul.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got lots of love there.
Lots of Kevin love there. So yes. So
Yeah. So those are the fun facts.
So while he was
Continue.
away, he did do some movies that were questionable. We only saw a few.
As
of them.
you know, we took one for the team, and I believe we reviewed this movie.
Vampire Burt Serenade, but I believe it was actually called something originally. It was like a kind of like a Rocky Horror vampire cocaine movie. It was
very strange
very
because
strange. But it had some catchy
you always
songs.
think of Kevin as like, I don't know about cookie cutter, but like clean, you know? So it
Yeah.
was kind of like when you saw him like taking cocaine or like as a vampire, you're like, what is this? What is
There was just
happening?
a lot going on in that movie. That
It was very
a
like
little-
traumatizing, maybe. I think that's the word that we used.
If you look back on one of our earlier episodes, we reviewed this movie and
Because we love Kevin, right? Like we're like,
Love
love Kevin is
Kevin.
not like
We're like,
this. So
what the
yeah.
hell is
So
this?
I
It
think
was-
that's probably why he took that role, because he's like, he wants
Yeah.
to be a serious actor.
He has been in some other movies. I want to say it was called Casserole Club or something. I never watched that one.
Yes, Casserole Club. Yeah.
He also took time off because him and his wife were having fertility issues, so they wanted to focus on starting a family. So
Yes.
that was what he was doing.
I think we found out at one point, Nick asked Kevin to be in his movie Dead 7, but Kevin
Maybe.
said no because there was no script.
He was a serious actor, and he wanted.
He
the
was a
script
serious
and all.
actor. But I think if he was in the movie, it would be fun. So
It definitely would. So yeah, it was. Yeah.
I just was like, wow.
I think he would be fun in Dead 7 was
Yeah.
also cheesy as fuck, but
It was fun though,
was
right?
good
Like
and
Howie's like 7 different
boy banders.
no, Howie's like accents
All
or
of
like
Howie's accents. That was
was
hilarious.
going in and out. I was like, what is this?
He was just like randomly picking up accents. Like it was.
It was very funny.
That movie was. I'm so sad that we could not be there because it was in Butte, Montana.
Yeah, I don't think
was
we've ever
so
heard of that
close to
town.
driving there, but it was like 14 hours away, and I was just like, ugh. Like it's all the boy banders. Christopher and Sink was there. O Town was there. That was a.
And AJ was like very good in that movie.
Mm-hmm. So, but Kevin was not in that movie, so that has nothing.
Kevin
to do with
was not,
Let's move
but
on.
I just remember that. Sorry.
Yes. All right. So it says away from the fandom, Kevin, 52, has been happily married to his wife, Kristen Kay Richardson, since 2000. She was a rockette. Now she does
Yep.
photography and stuff. The Lovebirds have 2 sons, Mason, 16. Holy crap. Mason is 16.
Yeah. Time flew by.
What?
Time is
And
flying by.
Maxwell, 10. All right. Next up is our favorite little Howie. Howie Duro. So in the old picture, he has kind of like a slightly kind of curly.
It's kind
gel
of similar in the hair department with this
Actually,
before
yes.
and after,
hair.
actually.
I'm surprised she didn't use a picture of the Jesus hair because that was.
I
that
am
was
also
certainly a
surprised
look.
because back in the day, it was very popular.
Yes. So he had the very long, straight Jesus-y hair, but that is not what this picture is. Does he have an earring?
Yes, he does.
Why does he look like AJ in this? Does Howie actually have his ear pierced? Like, I don't remember this at all.
Yes, I believe he did.
Oh, interesting. So he's wearing.
I think he just wore it like a couple of times, and then they probably were like, "Yeah, don't do that."
So he's wearing like a red plaid.
That's
shirt.
AJ's lane.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? Now that I think about it, I feel like I can remember Howie with earrings, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was very rare, but I think it was like a couple times.
Yes. And then the new picture is from him at 90s Con in Tampa. And he's wearing just like a t-shirt with an eagle on it. This lovely hair. Howie has aged well, like a fine wine. Yes. So there you go.
I feel like the 5 of the Backstreet Boys aged pretty well.
That's true.
I think we were very lucky in our boy band.
Yes. So it says, like his bandmates, Howie Dorough found himself in the Backstreet Boys after auditioning for and impressing their manager, Lou Pearlman. Dorough also okay, so here's my favorite part about this story is that Howie lied about his name and almost was not in the Backstreet Boys. So Tony Dannetti was the name he went by. So he had all his headshots and all that shit saying Tony Dannetti, but then when he introduced himself, he said Howie. So everyone's like, "Oh, we love this Howie guy. He's so great." But then they couldn't find him because he
wasn't under Howie Dorough. He was under Tony Dannetti.
Oh my God. So then about a year later, this audition thing came up again. So his dad's like, you should come and audition. He's like, I think I already auditioned for these guys. So when he's like, I don't want to do it. They obviously didn't like me last time. But then he ended up going anyways. And when he walked in, they're like, Tony. And he's like, it's Howie. And they're just like, what a dork. Anyway, so he got hired.
I thought it was pretty funny. He's like, buddy, you almost lost on the Backstreet Boys because of Tony Dannetti.
Also, fun fact, Howie is one of the reasons why NSYNC is around because he was in class with Chris and, oh my God, I can't remember the other guy's name at the moment. Was it Charlie Edwards? I can't remember. Anyways.
I believe, yes.
Howie
I believe that, yes.
Invited the other guy to audition for the Backstreet Boys and not Chris. And then it ended up being this thing. And then eventually.
Because isn't Chris and Howie like similar?
They're similar in age and they were in the same class. So, yeah. So
I think it was something like that. Like Chris and Howie were like similar voice tones or something.
Tones? Yeah, it could have been. Yeah. They were looking for a different thing.
And then that's why he's like, yeah, no, we'll get this guy.
Yep.
Anyways, did Chris say like they were friends? It seemed like they were just like friendly. They weren't like close friends.
I don't think they were like super close friends.
Yeah,
definitely like.
I think now they're like closer or friendly friends. I don't know. Howie's so sweet though, right?
Howie's just like sweet D. He's so chill.
He's so fun.
So yes, so it says Howie released 2 solo projects away from the band in 2011. Back to Me, which that was a good album. That had like
that was a good album. Yeah. And we're in like 2 seconds of one of his music videos when we're at HMV Canada for the CD signing. They show our back.
Was that Somebody Lie to Me? Was it that song or was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Or Back to Me? I can't remember.
I think it's Lied.
Yeah. So we are in Howie's music.
Or maybe it's Gone. Something like that.
I cannot recall, but it was a good album and Howie's lovely. And that was a fun day. And then in 2019, he released Which One Am I? Which was kind of like a
children's album.
And then he also had like a play that he was workshopping with the music from that album, which they did a couple of dates, but it was like February in the middle of like Wisconsin or something. And we're like, we're not.
Wasn't it or Oklahoma?
Oklahoma. That's where it was. And we're like, it's a bit of a far drive. And what if there's a blizzard or something? So we ended up not going. It was supposed to do New York, but I don't think he actually ever made it, obviously, because now
he didn't.
5 years later. So who knows if he's still doing anything. But we did have like a meet and greet with Howie after the album came out, and that was fun. So
yeah.
And that's where
he talked about, he did like a Q&A, then we did pictures.
Yes. So yeah, so that was fun. Howie's always fun.
Howie's fun. And like even now as they're on a break from summer and whatever, he's come up with some fun videos on Instagram. I appreciate these videos. Howie's the best.
He does How He Eats, where he sometimes makes food and stuff. So one of his
best one was Gen Z, like, what does this mean, bussin'?
Oh my God.
Is it a bus? And he's like, no. They're like, no, it's not a bus.
What's bussin' mean? Oh, I think it's a guy who drives the bus. No, it doesn't. And then he was just,
oh my God. And then one of them was like, what's salty? And then he asked like Holden, should I know this? And he's like, yeah, you should. And then I think the salty one, he's like, oh, is that like sugar or something? I was like, Howie.
Howie is fantastic. And then there was like
I just appreciate him so
like,
much. I love him.
He's been doing a lot of little videos lately with his family.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's very entertaining. Thank you, Howie.
He's very entertaining. He's a good cat, that Howie D.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yes. There was like a video for like Father's Day where he was like waiting on his son's hand and foot, and it was just,
oh my God, yes, that was hilarious.
So yeah, it's definitely
when
funny.
you can poke fun at yourself, that's when you know you have good times with your family.
Sure. Yes. So it says Duro, now 50, met the love of his life, Lee, in 2000 when she was serving as the band's webmaster. So she was doing all the web stuff, and then she was touring with them.
I recall this. During the fan club, most videos were about Howie instead of like the other guys. So we're like, okay, so maybe like there's a connection there.
Oh, Howito. So it says they got married 7 years later and welcomed their first son, James, in 2009 and Holden in 2013. So yeah, so kids are little teenagers now. It's very entertaining.
Wow, time is flying. Like, if you want to feel old, when you talk about Brian, that's when you're going to feel old, because Bailey, I think, is like 21.
Shut up. He is not. Okay.
Yeah, let's see. I believe 21.
So we are shockingly running out of time. Oh gosh, we're already over an hour.
And Chinsey, I thought we would not have enough to talk about.
I did not think we would. Sorry.
But I always have faith in us.
All right, babbling on about nothing. So anyways, Brian Littrell. So in the 1997 picture, his hair is short. He has a chain. He's wearing a V-neck blue shirt. Very clean.
It's kind of like the same like smile.
Basically, yes. The newer one is on Watch What Happens Live on Bravo, and he's wearing like a red jacket and a black t-shirt. A little more facial hair, and his hair on top is a little bit more mussed. I don't know how that's called. I don't know what the frig I'm saying, guys. Whatever. Anyways, it says Brian Littrell's vocal prowess. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak. Was so evident. He auditioned over the phone and was flown to Orlando the next day, according to the official Backstreet Boys website. So basically, they were looking for a person. Yeah, they
were looking for a fifth member, and Kevin's like, "Hey, I have a cousin. I can call him." Then he called him. I believe the story was he called Brian's mom first and was like, hey, can I call the school? And then Brian obviously never gets in trouble. So when he went to the office, he's like, is it okay? Like, is everything okay? Because Kevin would never call him at school. Yeah. So then he's like, yeah, everything's fine. I just want you guys. I just want you to audition for the Backstreet Boys, this group.
I'll fly you to Orlando tomorrow. Okay.
Yes. And then he went the next morning. He went that night, and then in the morning they did the audition, and then the rest is history.
And they signed him on the spot, and I think their first show was like 2 weeks later or something like that.
Yeah, at SeaWorld or something like that.
Something like that. So it says he released a solo
and they also did like school tour. They also did like a singing in schools.
Yep, they did a whole thing across the country and doing all that stuff and going to high schools.
Which they showed in the Show 'Em What You're Made Of documentary.
They also show it in the Dirty Pop documentary. So
yes.
So okay, so it says Brian released a solo Christian album titled Welcome Home in 2005. And
it's a very good album.
Okay. We don't feel like we've never actually reviewed that one either.
So like I said previous, we did I basically reviewed all the albums because I have all the albums of all the Backstreet Boys when they did the solo work. Yes. So I think that's what we did.
Yes, I think it is. You're right. So in 2005, he followed up with some Christmas albums featuring his family. 2010 is Brian Littrell's Family Christmas, and 2011 Christmas with the Littrells. So you have those albums too?
Yes, I believe those were emails. So you buy it on like iTunes, or you bought it online from Wiley, from a Wiley website, and then they gave you the download.
So those
I don't think it was Wiley, like a physical copy.
Yes. So Brian's wife had a bag line and clothing and stuff
Yes.
called Wiley. So, okay. So when he's not performing with the boys, Literal 49 lives an otherwise quiet life with his wife Leanne and their singer son Bailey 21. Oh,
See, 21.
In Atlanta.
Remember when he was like 4 years old on stage and he had like a small mic and they were at sound check during the Never Gone tour? I was like, wow.
What are you gonna do? That's so crazy.
Or
now,
even like
Bailey is
Unbreakable,
also
and then
country singer right now.
on Unbreakable, I think it was, or NKOTBSB, he opened for them, singing Michael Jackson.
He did, yeah.
Or Jackson 5, sorry.
ABC. Was that the song?
And Mariah Carey. That was when he was like 9 or 10.
I
And
do
then
remember
he
him
opened for them during In the World Like This. Now he has his own career. Like, wow.
Yeah, so he does country music, I believe.
Like,
and he
talk
has
about being old.
yeah, so there you go. And now he's legal drinking age in America. So wow, that's crazy.
So yeah.
So Brian and Leanne first met on the set of the Backstreet Boys' As Long As You Love Me music video in 1997 and got married in 2000. So crazy. Can you imagine just being an extra in a music video and now you're like married to a pop star? It sounds
So
like a fan fiction to me.
I think there was only supposed to be like 5, and then she became the 6th one.
Oh, okay.
I think that was the story I heard, possibly.
In the video, her name is not Leanne. I think it might be Gina or something. I can't remember when they.
Yeah, I can't
put names
remember.
on it, but yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
I thought it was
cool.
good.
She also almost passed away in 9/11, I believe.
Yeah, she went with her gut and didn't get on the plane because it went from Boston to New York.
Something like
One
that.
of the planes hit the tower.
Yeah. So,
And she's like, I have a bad feeling, so she didn't get on that plane.
yes.
But one of their crew members did pass away because he was on that flight.
Mm-hmm. That's super sad.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so always go with your gut.
Go with your gut, I guess. Anyway, so that is what the Backstreet Boys were doing and what they are currently up to. So yeah, lots of things. Right now, it's a little quiet time for them. They are doing a bit of solo projecting. Basically, Kevin and Brian are just like chilling with their family and not like
honestly,
doing anything.
We still know they're alive because
They
no
will
news has
occasionally,
come
like,
out.
Quote on or comment on the other boys, like when Howie posts something, Kevin will be like hearted or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that. So
Exactly. So you're like, okay, he's there. He's just enjoying his time away from social media, which, is good.
he was never really big on social media, to be
Right.
honest, so
And then Brian also
comes and goes.
hasn't been on as well because he just wants to be away from that after like some stuff happened.
But I feel like AJ and Howie are the MVPs right now. They're posting lots of stuff, putting some content on there, doing their thing.
And
so.
Nick, because he was in Europe, would do Instagram lives.
Yeah.
So Nick, I feel, was also pretty good about the social media.
Well, he's always been pretty good for social media.
Yes. And he did sometimes do breakfast things as well. Not Pancake Daddy, but breakfast making. Just to say hi and continue to thank everyone for their support.
All right. Well, we've been a Backstreet Boys fan for many years and will continue to be so. And as they say, as long as there'll be music, they'll be coming back again. So,
and I appreciate that lyric because they have not let us down since.
They have not let us down in the 30
We love you. We appreciate you. And we thank you for still being here.
And I
cannot wait to find out what this secret big deal is. Because I miss the Backstreet Boys and I would like new music.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like it's time for a new, DNA came out, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yes.
So
2019?
Yeah, that sounds about right. So time for some new music and switching it up. So, or just some sort of affordable event to go to.
Or like Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
Why don't you do a Christmas? We did a Christmas
We did a
album,
Christmas album last year.
so
but
we
maybe
can do
just
some
a
Christmas
show.
concerts.
Right. 98 Degrees does that. once a
And
year, so
it doesn't have to be like anything
Elaborate.
big, right? Like you could do it like acoustically. You could do it.
just hit up.
We just
some
want to see
places
you and
like,
hear your voices.
Toronto, where the bigger
Exactly.
cities.
Yeah, Toronto. I don't know. Maybe like Orlando would be a good because that's your like home base where you
LA,
came
New
from.
York. Yeah.
Or New York. Yeah, New York.
Always
Doable.
good stuff. So we'll
Yeah.
see what ends up happening. And so we will still be around and enjoying
And
that.
we hope you enjoyed this. Where are they now? But if you're a fan, you know that it's just
Pretty much
quiet
all the
time right
stuff.
now.
It's a rest and relaxation with the fam jams.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.